back. Oh, you just interrupted a conversation about tinnitus and how we can't hear anything, but I am here with TSgt Trevizo, Phoenix Raven?
Yep.
What does that mean for the people that don't know what that is?
So a ground level like explanation. So anywhere we fly with our C-17s or C-130s, where we have a question about that ground security or possibly an event in the in-air security for maybe detainee transport, we go there to make sure the plane and the crew are safe. So anywhere, it's it's been going on since '97.
Okay.
And we just want to make sure that our assets, both personnel and materials, stay good.
And it's part of security forces, right?
It is a special part of security forces, yes.
Right, and we do get a lot of questions about this. How do you become a Raven?
Well, first you got to be at an AMC base for one. Start out as at least have a 90 baseline on your PT test. Then you get a hold of your Raven section. Generally, they'll have like an in-house pre-Raven program, and that program will kind of weed out and see if you can just kind of handle the physical aspect and kind of the mental fortitude part. You get through that, and you go to the schoolhouse at McGuire, get through that, and you're in.
Just like that?
Yeah, no problem.
I got to ask, because on the One's Ready podcast, we talk about
Sure.
folks getting into special warfare and like all the things that it takes to get there, and everybody's always asking for advice. Like, what should we focus on, to become whatever it is that you're trying to become? If you're thinking about going Raven, like as you go through that selection process,
Sure.
like what are the big things that you need to be like focusing on training wise?
So training wise, as long as you have a baseline like good calisthenic and fitness like starting point, you need. Like you can lift at the gym all the time, but you're going to go to the schoolhouse and lose all that muscle because you're going to be doing body weight exercises and running.
Right.
So having a baseline level of fitness will take that out of the equation, so you can just kind of think about the mental stress they're going to put you through. So any schoolhouse that's more than just a standard schoolhouse, they're going to test you mentally. Anybody can be physically fit, but not everybody can be mentally fit. So it might sound like just going through motions of trying hard and making you tired and upset and sleepy, but what it comes down to is, say you're in a flight line in Africa, it's burning hot, the air crew's gone, no one's watching, are you still going to do the right thing?
Right.
And that's it. So if they can flutter kick you into being like, I quit, that's a question. Like, okay, so if flutter kicks will get you to quit, well, 120 degree weather for 4 days gets you to quit.
Right.
And we can't do that. You can't quit.
Well, we say the same thing, right? The events are a way to find out who you are
Yeah.
when you're uncomfortable, and we need to know that you're that reliable person.
Yeah. And I mean, anybody can feel a little bit of discomfort, but it's who you are after that discomfort happens and keeps happening that they need to find out. And that's what the schoolhouse is about. So yeah, they're going to PT into the ground for a while. They're going to yell and scream at you, make you uncomfortable.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not super fun, but at the same time, it is really fun. But the job's where it's at. Like, you're going to go to all sorts of places you've never seen. You're going to get to hang out with air crew that you never would have hung out with and see and do things that the normal security forces is just never going to get to do.
Right.
So,
what made you want to become a Raven? Like, what was that decision point? Like, did you get a briefing? Did someone come talk to you, or were you just like getting?
So I was just your standard security forces guy, and you hear about Ravens and how they're like, just arrogant hotshots or whatever. But if you're not at an AMC base, that you don't get any experience. So the minute I hit an AMC base and heard that it existed, that's another level to go to, another thing to do that's not a flight line, it's not security. I mean, it is security, but it's more specialized, and it's just a little harder, and sometimes that's exciting. Like, you just want to do a little bit more while you're young. And see what they have to offer, because there's a ton to offer.
Right. So what has been the best part of it?
So the best part, for one, like being able to do the OAR stuff, to be able to part of like the Afghan allies, refugee and whatnot. Yep. That's a highlight, because you get to go do things and help in places that you could never help with if you're not doing it.
Right.
And that's part of the reason I joined the military, is I want to help and I want to go do stuff to like help our country, help people in need. So the Ravens let me do that in a lot of places. So that's a highlight for me.
Yeah. I mean, we had the big thing yesterday where y'all got recognized by General Minahan for doing what you did during OAR, and that's kind of like, it's the things you cannot pay for. Like, that's a historical inflection point. Like, we will remember that day forever, that week forever, and you got to be there. You got to make a difference and provide value.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, I had almost no notice that I was going there. almost no information about what was going to happen when we got there, and it was a cluster. But like the things we got to do for so many people, that's going to stay with me forever. Like I don't know these people's names, but I have faces that are just kind of stuck in there.
Right.
And it's some of it's good, some of it's not so good, but some of it, like these people, like the other option was dire, like absolutely life-ending. So being able to help these people and get them to a place where I had individuals being like, I want to go to America, I'm going to buy a Samsung phone, I'm going to get a job. And they said that with like pure joy on their face while we're flying, and they don't even know where we're going.
Right.
Like all these plane loads of people had no idea where we're going. They were just happy, well, they were relieved or happy or sometimes sad that they had to leave, but they were at least physically safe for that time. So that was huge.
Yeah, it's not hyperbole to say it was life and death, right? Like, because it absolutely was. And you know, the training that you went through to become a Raven and all the training, you know, after that, because there's like the selection process and everybody's like, looking back, you're like, that really wasn't that bad compared to like all the exercises and all the other stuff you do on team. How did that training like prepare you for like that moment? So
that moment, like you want to talk about discomfort levels, talk about having no schedule, no rest cycle, no protected sleep, no protected shower times. Like I got stuck, like they just dumped me on a broken jet for X amount of hours and they're like, just do this.
Right.
Like, hey, you don't have TP, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, so, and there's no one watching you. I mean, the Taliban was on the other side, but there's no one watching you, making sure you're doing the right thing, and that's exactly what that training's for.
Right.
It's me and a partner and no one else. Like, we're just sitting on this bird and with zero oversight, and there was not going to be any oversight, so they had to trust us, and that's exactly what all that training was for.
It's like the ultimate feeling of exposure, right?
Yeah, the closest thing, at certain points, the closest people I could see were across the flight line, the Taliban guys, just kind of checking out their new digs. So I'm just like, me and my partner, we're making backup plans, figuring out like, where's our resources, what do we do, like kind of dry running it, because when you dry run it, I mean, that's, you mentally prepare for a variety of scenarios, and you need to do that, but it's the training and the preparation in Raven School and the missions, all that beforehand that got us there and made us at least comfortable enough to know that we're going to be able to perform our job as necessary.
Right. Okay. Switching gears a little bit, you're not active duty, which is why you smile a lot, and I hate you right off the bat, because Guard and Reserve folks are always so happy, and it's all choices, man. Yeah. But you're also, we were talking last night, you're a police officer in real life, so like that work-life balance thing, the Guard is pretty rad.
Yeah, generally it's fine. When things pop up with little no notice, it kind of just tweaks everything and throws that off kilter. But generally nowadays, my civilian to military career work life is pretty fantastic. I drill almost 250 miles from my base, so the military they do pay for mileage again, which is fantastic. Nice. I really enjoy that. But it has been a really nice balance. Like active duty, I mean, it has its benefits and challenges. But I've found the reserves has actually been really open about getting me opportunities and pushing through with that. So the reserves is the only reason I was able to become a Raven. I was a nuke troop through and through. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, so I don't want to take up all your time. Last thing I want to talk about is, last night you're with all your other Ravens, up there getting recognized, and that team concept, like that camaraderie that y'all have. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like being a Raven on team? Yeah,
so the nice thing is I showed up here, I didn't know anybody, and I could find a Raven tab and just walk right into it. Like we have the similar background, same training, like we have the same like mentality to get it done, and it is really nice just to be able to click into it and go. So I can find a Raven and just either do the job immediately, not knowing them, just trusting they have the training, but I can also walk into a group, find my SF guys, and just blend right in. Yep. And it's really nice. Yep. That's one of the things. That's another thing you can't pay for. Yeah. That shared experience, that like camaraderie through suffering and training, and that's that it's like we like talking to you guys because there's there's also that shared camaraderie. Like you guys wanted to do more, and so like we found you guys last night and we wanted to talk to you because it's like like we have that thing we're all ground pounders. And, I saw it. You can't replace that. So. And anything else you want to say about, being a Raven, being a Air Force, AMC, since we're here at the behest of them? If you're thinking of getting out, the reserves are awesome, so I highly recommend that. And if you're an AMC base, hit those 90s and try to be a Raven. If you're security forces, it's going to let you do a ton more stuff than you could have ever done just doing your straight flight. So give it a try. It's not that hard, and the experiences are awesome.
Awesome. And hey, I appreciate it. Thank you
Thanks,
so much
man.
for sitting down.
Yeah, thanks.